There we go, Julie. A very, very warm welcome to you this afternoon. Thank you so, so much on behalf of Shelley and the rest of the team for joining me today to tell your story your way. Julie, I've been privileged to have known you for quite a few years. In fact, we're probably nearly 20 years, I guess.
I know, it's amazing.
Must be.
It must be at least 20
And
years.
I was really privileged to have you as my boss for quite a few years when we worked together. Years that I remember so, so fondly, and we had such
Great memories.
a
Good
giggle.
fun times, Lesley. Good fun
Yeah,
times.
definitely, definitely. We weren't in touch for quite a few years as I was a family, and your business life was very busy as well. But we reconnected a
Yes.
few years ago, and this is where Feel It Be comes into it. So I would love for you to introduce yourself, tell everybody it's watching us here today, where you are, where you're from, what you do, and a bit about your family life as well. That would be amazing. Thank you.
So I live in Bankery and I'm just outside Aberdeenshire. I'm married to Logan. I've got 3 grown-up children. We've been married for almost 36 years, which I can't believe. Thanks. I do deserve a medal, I always say.
You do. I will say I know Logan very well.
So I've got Nick's my eldest son. He's going to be 35 this week. I've got Chloe, my daughter, she's 29, and I've got Harris, who's 28. But they all sort of live round about, so they're all near me. And I've got 3 wonderful little grandchildren who I just adore to bits. So I've got Georgie, who's 7, Daisy, who's just 4 yesterday, and little Logan, who's 3.5. So they're just such a joy to my life, and I love having them and spending time with them. And for me, it brings you back to like childhood things and memories. And so I'm very blessed to have them, and I'm very blessed that they're near me in my life, and I can have a real close relationship with them. So they're very important to me. And I have my own hair and beauty salon, which I've had for about 33 years, I think it is.
My
Which
goodness, I never
I
realised it
know,
was that long.
I know, it's unbelievable. So, because Nick, he was only about 2 when I started the salon, so it's quite scary where the time goes. So, I still work part-time within the salon myself, and I've diversed quite a lot over the years as to what I do within the salon. I'm a hairdresser to trade, but I've always kind of progressed and learned new things and different things because I like just to not get bored and change things up a wee bit as well. So at the moment, my passion at the moment is I still do a little bit of bridal work, but I do wigs for people with hair loss, and I also do hair clinics. I've trained a bit in trichology and stuff, so I help people with hair loss issues and scalp concerns. So I really like that, and it's quite specialised, and I like to really feel that I help people. So that kind of resonates with me, and it fits in with my life just now, and my family and my personal life.
What a fantastic way to take your business. And it's not something that you hear of a lot of people doing. And it's one thing to be a hairdresser and make people feel lovely when they're leaving your salon. I must say I can never recreate what a hairdresser can do to my hair in a day. I don't know how you do it. I think you're all pretty magnificent. But for you to now take that side of your business into that way of being and helping and caring people in such a different way. It just shows the sort of person that you are, Julie, which is one of the reasons that I like to think I've kept you in my world and in my life, because anytime we do meet, it's
like we've never not seen each other. I know.
So tell me about your time and when you found out about Shelley and Feel It Be, and how long ago that was, Julie.
Well, I can't quite believe it, but it was 2.5 years ago. And I still sometimes think, how can that be 2.5 years ago? But it is. So, however, it was through yourself, obviously, Lesley, and it was totally organic how it happened. I was on Facebook scrolling through, and on my feed or somewhere on the page, it came up your before and after transformation photos. And I'll never forget it. I went, oh my God, Lesley, what? I just couldn't believe the photos. I think of that moment I saw your photos, it was just mind blowing. It was just mind blowing, and you always looked stunning, and you're a beautiful person, but it was just the whole transformation. You look completely like a different person. So I said to Lucinda at the salon, "Have you seen Lesley?" Oh my God, I was like,
Thank you.
and
Thank
anyway,
you for saying that, because I still look at those pictures and I still can't believe that that used to be me.
yeah,
However, sometimes I look at myself now and I think, I can't believe that this is me.
no,
So even for someone else looking at the pictures,
yeah,
I've got to say I do get
yeah,
that as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So that was my initial ever knowing anything about Feel Look Be, and I hadn't heard or known anything about it before. So obviously I got in touch with yourself, and you sort of told me what you've been doing and about the Feel Look Be program and Shelley Booth, blah blah blah, and that was great. And it so happened you were having an event up in Turriff within that couple of weeks or something, and Shelley was coming up to do a wee presentation. So of course me and Lucinda says, "Oh, we'll come up and we're intrigued to know more about it and see a bit more about what it was about." So we come up and that was it. And it was just, again, I still at the time didn't really, when I think back now, at the time I still didn't really know what it was about, but I was really intrigued to know more because I'd heard enough. And after that, I did the 5 day blitz, and I remember I lost just over half a stone in the 5 day blitz.
I know.
I'd probably been for years trying to lose half a stone, in months.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? So,
I
so
know.
for that to happen in a week was unbelievable. So that in itself spoke for itself. So then, of course, I joined, and I think that was in the August. And then by December, I had lost about 2 stone. And
Wow.
again, I thought, but I couldn't believe how easy it was. You know, it just, it just happened so easily. And I
And
think back to before how I'd tried various so-called diets and all the different things I've tried over the years. And I know it all sounds a bit, what a lot of people say, but I had honestly, and I was my weight. I would say was a sort of person. I never looked massively obese because I concealed it well and I dressed to suit my
dressed
shape.
appropriately. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could, but I was overweight. And as the years had gone on, my weight went up and down and fluctuated. And it was getting a bit. I was always getting that bit heavier, and I
Yeah.
could never
And it gets
lose.
harder to
It gets
lose.
harder.
Yeah.
And I think there was probably a point in time in my life I thought, oh, it's just your age, like everybody says about a lot of things, just
I
your age.
know.
And this is just how it is. And there's a part of you just sort of, I'll maybe just have to accept this. And now I wouldn't even think like that.
I know.
I wouldn't even, entertain that thoughts anymore.
But I
But
think
that's
so
because I didn't know
many,
any better.
yeah, but so much
Yeah,
women are like that. As you
yeah,
get older, you do. You're just like,
yeah,
well, it's just my age, or like you say, this is how it's going to be from now on.
totally, yeah,
Because that is just the way that we've been brought up, or the way
yeah,
that we've been educated and things.
yeah.
So it was predominantly weight loss then, Julie. That was the
So
reason.
that was my first initial weight loss. That was what I thought. I basically thought if I could lose a bit of weight, if I could lose
Yeah.
this half stone, or if I lost a stone, I thought that would be amazing. You know what I mean?
How much
So
weight have you lost
I've
altogether?
lost 3 stone altogether.
Oh,
And I still like some people say to me, I wouldn't have thought you had 3 stone to lose. Well, I have lost 3 stone, do you know what I mean? Because I was carrying that extra weight. I'm like now 9 stone 10, and I was 12 stone 10. You know, so
amazing.
that's the reality. I have lost 3 stone,
And
which I
tell me,
still.
with our meal plans, I mean, you're saying how easy it was, but how did you feel when you first looked at that very first meal plan, and the beautiful meals and the ingredients that we eat here on Feel It Be?
Well, you sort of think there's loads of food and there's heaps of food and there's no portion control and you can eat as much as you want. And you think, and it's all like full fat cream and it's cheese and, it's things that everything for years, it was a standing joke. I would buy low fat everything because
Everything.
Logan
Yep.
used to joke about it. He says you'll be slipping through the letterbox shortly. But the thing is, I wasn't because I wasn't losing weight really. But I was thought I was doing what I thought was.
I'm just laughing because I could actually hear Logan say that. For people that don't know Julie's husband,
Yeah.
he's quite a character. He's got a lot of
Yeah.
one-liners,
Yeah.
and wherever he is, there's always a giggle in the room.
Yeah.
And he comes
Yeah.
out with those things. So
Yeah.
he'll be slipping through the letterbox. I can actually hear him say
Yeah. But the thing is, I never actually was slipping through the letterbox. It was a joke because you'd go into the fridge, low fat, this and low fat. And the kids used to say, well, you can tell my mum's been shopping because everything's low fat. But it was also full of sugar. And but that at that time, that was my mind. That was the knowledge I knew and what I
that's
thought
right.
was healthy and what I thought was best. But it obviously was never working. But I just kept thinking it was my body. Yeah, it was, I don't know. You just kept trying, hoping one day that something would work.
Yeah. So Shelley then brings into us the science and the
Yeah.
nutrition
Yeah.
behind what it is, why we eat what we do,
Yes.
and if we don't, you know, how it's affecting us. Did that really open up your mind? I mean, because here you are thinking it's all low fat, low sugars, and all that sort of things.
Yeah,
How did
totally, because it
that
just
come
shows,
on?
yeah, well, totally, because it just shows that we can be almost informed or, and knowledge is power. And if you don't know better, you can't do better. So for me, the that was one of the main things is the nutrition education, because I'm the sort of person I like to understand. I like to know about my body. It interests me about the body and the well-being and health aspect. It always has done. I'm quite passionate about that anyway. So it does actually interest me. So, and I have read a lot of books and I still do. So I, for me, it was perfect because it wasn't just a case of somebody just says to you, okay, this is what you're going to eat. You're going to eat that, but don't ask me why you're doing it. You'll just lose weight and that'll be fine, which has happened to me in the past, you know, have complete
Yeah,
faith. Well, I do have faith, but at the end of the day, you need to know it's going to be healthy and good for you and why you're doing it. And you know, what you're putting into your body is right. So I had to understand why was full fat, all these full fat things like cheese and cream, etc., that I thought wasn't good for you. Why that would be? How could I possibly lose weight doing that and be healthy? That was the total opposite of my thoughts
that's right.
before. Yeah.
And tell me, did the family, I mean, obviously you've got Logan at home, but I think the children, are they all in their own homes now? But
Yeah. Yeah.
would they eat what you were eating? And, you know, did they bring in, I mean, Shelley's huge about bringing family
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
this
So
way of
obviously at home, there's myself and Logan now. The kids have all flown the nest. However, they are here quite a lot in different
I
scenarios
can
all at one time.
imagine.
Yeah, but that's all great fun as well. Yeah, I love having them here. So as far as Logan goes, he's been really supportive and very good. And even we did laugh about it because when I had my operation, I did think to myself, oh no, what am I going to do about my cooking? I'm not able to cook myself, blah, blah, blah. Well, lo and behold, he did. I would laugh in the kitchen. I'd go through and direct him and tell him what to do, like normally as I do, to keep him right with the recipes. And so we would still carry on. So he
Yeah,
cooked the recipes too, but it was actually quite a good education for him because he had to cook the meals or help me cook the meals, and so he learnt through that time. So that was a really good time to help him understand it. And we
yeah,
were in lockdown at the time. It was the second lockdown, so we had the time to do it as well. So he understands it, and he basically eats what I eat, albeit he still sometimes, you know, eats other things as well. But he now knows, he does know the difference. And even I know the other night he went off plan and he ate like pasta and things he hasn't been eating because we don't cook it really. And he felt really quite ill. And he
yeah,
said, well, I can't believe the difference. So it's obviously benefiting him, and it's drip feeding education, educating Logan as well as myself. And
absolutely.
then as far as my family goes, although they don't live in the house, you know, uh, they know about the
Yeah,
plan and they understand a lot of it. And just through me, you know, not like just in conversation, and they'll say, what mum are you cooking, what you doing this, and I'll say, this is why. So organically, again, it's quite a natural thing. I'll just tell them, this is what I've
yeah,
eaten, that's what that does to you, blah blah blah, and about organic foods, and you know why it's better to eat organic food, and about the dairy, why it's better to be organic, about the hormones. And so it all becomes a bit of a banter session sometimes about
yeah.
Shelley Booth food and the program, the Feel Look Me program.
But I think this
So
is the thing. I mean, you're not making them do
no,
anything, but
no,
you're passing it on. You're just educating. You've learned,
Yeah.
Shelley's passed it on to you.
Yeah.
Now you're passing it on.
Yeah.
How other people choose to, you know, use that information.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's always just planting seeds, I always think.
So although it's not, like I said, it's not like I've got little children at home that are, you know, I'm in control of them anymore, but it's still in a positive way has drip fed through my older family, and then it's drip feeding through into they've obviously a family of their own. So it's all creating an awareness of helping them all be healthy and be conscious and aware of it as well, which I think is only a good thing.
Absolutely. Julie, if you don't mind me asking, you mentioned that you'd had an operation.
Yes.
Is that something that you would share with us today?
Yeah, certainly. So, like I say, I joined 2.5 years ago, so that was about the August time. And then, unknown to me, I ended up having a hysterectomy on the January after. So, like it was like when I can reflect on it now, it was like my body was prepared for this operation. So by that time, I'd lost about 2 stone, and so my body was in a reasonable state of health, and I'd been eating clean and all the rest of it, and lost a bit of weight, which that obviously helped for the surgery. And then I had the surgery, and it was a total hysterectomy I had, and I sailed through it. And obviously I was apprehensive about it, as I would think would be quite natural. And it also helped. I would say I'm generally quite a positive person, but I was anxious. I wouldn't say I wasn't. And I can be an anxious person about certain things, although I might come across quite confident, but sometimes I'm not. You know, I think at the end of the day, we are all human, you know, so just this like person that doesn't have feelings. So I had the surgery and that all went really well. Came home, I recuperated, like I say, Logan helped with food, so I still carried on. I obviously couldn't do walking and that straight away, but I gradually had physio exercises, so I was still moving, and it was the winter, so I was a bit more restricted for outside and stuff. But I still carried on all the meal plans, and so I say it myself, I was actually quite proud I did that, because it could have been quite an easy excuse to say, oh well, you know, because and maybe in a former mindset of mine, I might have just said, oh, I can't do that just now, you know. But if you turn that around and think, well, by doing that, and we had the time to do it as well, another reason that there was no excuse, that was feeding my body and helping me, and that was helping everything, that I could then become better sooner and feel better sooner. And also, I would say, because of all the mindset stuff, before, during, and after, that definitely helped as well. So it's a combination of everything that made that experience much easier. And I truly believe if I hadn't been doing Feel Look Be, I know in my heart, I feel that I wouldn't have had the same outcome. If I had been eating how I was eating before, I would have, I don't think I'd been anything like I am now.
Can I ask how, after having your hysterectomy, how that has affected you with your hormones and perhaps menopause symptoms?
Yeah, so I would say that I had a total hysterectomy, so I've got no ovaries, so there was basically everything was taken away. So, and that's well, that'll be coming up for 3 years ago, which is amazing, really. And it's only recently I've started to take a wee supplement of like estrogen gel, but other than that, I haven't taken anything. I take some of Shelley's supplements. Well, in fact, and I take all her supplements. And I've been taking them probably since they ever came out. Was that about a year ago or something?
Yeah, it'll be a year. Yeah.
So I've always taken them, and I take a few other things as well. So yeah, I feel that you know, a combination of all these things has really got me to where I am, really, you know.
Well, I just think that's fantastic. It really is remarkable that you're not showing or feeling any of these symptoms that I know that a hysterectomy can bring on very quickly and quite dramatically, and a lot of people as well. You spoke of your mindset. Now, Julie, I've known you, as I say, for a long time. You've always come across to me confident, bubbly, very happy. And that's just the sort of person that you've come across as. But I also know as women, we're very good at painting pictures or painting the smile on our face.
Yes.
Things can be tough, the pressure of family, pressure of business and owning your own and running your own business as well. Where would you say your mindset was before Feel Look Be? And has it, the mindset part of the programme, helped you over these last couple of years to where you are now?
Yeah, definitely. Because so before Feel Look Be was we'd been quite through that was just the after the first,
The
you
first
forget all these,
lockdown.
so after the first
Yes.
lockdown. So that obviously was a very stressful time for a lot of people, but because I have my own business as well, it was very challenging and stressful in lots of ways.
And I'm
So
guessing for Logan as well, because neither of you would have been able to run your
no,
businesses.
no,
Yeah.
the businesses were both closed. So although it was nice at the time you got a rest when you were closed, it then swung in a roundabout that when we reopened, it was a big challenge to get everything up and going, and all the different regulations, and at that time as well, you forget that things were changing all the time. So you had to be constantly thinking on your feet and be adaptable. So I think from all of that, to come out of all that, it has made me be more adaptable.
Yeah.
So that's, and maybe before, there's part of me was always stuck in a rut or stuck in one way to a point, not with everything,
Yeah.
but certain things. So I think that's helped me to be more adaptable and just think, well, today it's this and tomorrow it might be that, or why does it have to be the same all the time? You know what I mean? So it's a bit more freedom in a way, which I like now. But back to the mindset with Shelley. So I think that, or I don't think, I know that it definitely has helped me. And through all these challenges in different times, whether it be of business or my personal life, and which we all have, but in different times, you maybe sometimes more or not. I really feel that's given me the focus with it. So I've always been the sort of person, I'll read books, and I've always been into like mindset and spiritual things and holistic health and all that. So what Shelley does really resonates with me, and what I really love and enjoy. So it's not like, for me, it's kind of an interest, and I want to do it and want to know more and want to hear it because it's what I enjoy. So, but having Shelley, the way she speaks to you, as in her presentations and her videos, or whether it's a quick chat or a more educational chat, um, it's like she's just speaking to you through the camera, and you're just sitting down having a chat and having a casual coffee with you. But I find it quite interesting because when she speaks, and she's obviously saying the same thing to everybody on the group, it still resonates with you. So wherever you're at in your life, and it's a very clever thing which she does,
It's
but
amazing.
it's still you think, oh, that means something to me today, or that's
That's
what I
right.
needed to hear, or it helps me. So where I was going with that, it helps me keep a focus of where I am in myself and my mind, whether it be that day or that week or a situation in my life or something that's going on in my life. It helps to draw me back and, okay, Julie, get a grip today if I'm having a mad day or whatever's going on. It can be anything, because there's just like plenty of things going on. And it just draws me back and think, okay, just, listen to this today, and it'll maybe be something that'll resonate and mean something, and then it'll just flip my mind again, and it'll just bring me back to somewhere, and I think, okay, I can get on with this, I can do this now.
Well, here's the thing, Julie. So you're sitting in Bankery and you are listening to Shelley, and you're busy in your world and your hairdressing business with no kids in the house.
Yeah,
Here's me sitting in Tara,
I know.
and I've got my kids in the house. I'm busy getting on with all my
Yeah,
jobs here. But
yeah,
yet, what Shelley said to you, and I heard the same thing, meant two completely different things to us both.
exactly,
But
yeah.
yet, we both get the same empowerment and
Yes,
guidance and
yeah.
support from what she has just said. So how the hell does she do it? This is
Don't
a
know.
woman I've known for years, and I still
Yeah.
have no idea how
But
she.
also, what I was going to say in that as well, Lesley, is that the other thing that I love about Shelley is she's just so real. As in a genuine soul that says as it is. There's no flowering about with her, and
Yeah,
that's my sort of person, because it's real, and you think, well, you're just right, you know, because I'm quite a straight talking person, and I don't like all the. I just
The frills.
yeah, the frills. So just cut the crap and just say it, you know. So that works for me. And sometimes I just think, you know, if you need a, you know, kick up the bum or, you know, something, it's just that's fine. You have a laugh about it and then you just do it, you know.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
true.
but it makes it fun as well, you know, and
Yeah.
it's not just somebody sitting there sort of droning on about something and you know be getting bored. Oh my God, I'd be bored, you know. But she can make something that maybe is a bit scientific, or she is trying to get an important part of the education across to you, but she can make it fun and interactive, but
And
you still learn it and understand it.
that's right. And I
Yeah.
think that's exactly where she can connect with everybody, no matter what your walk life is. She
No,
can connect with everybody
yeah,
because she is
totally.
just so genuine, down to earth,
Yeah,
swear words here or there,
yeah,
a right giggle, just comes out with some cracker
yeah,
one-liners as well. And it just completely resonates with everybody. As you say,
totally.
you're just like sitting there speaking to your best pal, your
Yeah,
sister or your mom or whatever,
totally.
however you sort of feel that connection
Yeah.
with her too, for sure. Now you spoke about walking. I know that you said that you couldn't actually do much after your operation, but where were you before Feel B in your fitness
Yeah.
side of things? Were you fit or were you quite active?
Well, I wasn't say I was unfit, but I wasn't I probably a bit sporadic with my exercise as well. So I usually went to the gym and I do walk a lot. I've always walked a lot because I've got a wee dog, wee Sandy. So I walk him and so that
Right.
can
What sort of dog is Sandy? And
he's a Lhasa Apso.
beautiful.
But
How old
he's
Sandy?
so he's 4 on Christmas Eve actually. But he's a
Fantastic.
little he thinks he rules the house, you know, he's got very sort of Lhasa Apsos are quite like that. He's quite a dominant, thinks he's very important sort of dog. But I almost say he's like the folk in the rest of the house, you know what I mean? Everybody's trying to think they're important. He's a character, he's a character. So Sandy Wandy, as I call him, I need to walk him. So that makes me go out. But it's great because you can, whatever the weather, you go out and walk with the dog. And I do running as well. And again, I fluctuate a bit with the running. My daughter, she does a lot of running. She's quite a pro at running. But so I sometimes go out with her. Not that I really can keep up with her, but she sometimes motivates me and encourages me. So it's not like I'm just a couch potato. So, and then obviously after my hysterectomy, I had to obviously be careful what I did, and I couldn't run straight away and stuff like that. So it was walking was the best thing, and just do my exercises at the physio. And I think maybe that's part of the reason I didn't. Well, that wasn't part. That was the reason I didn't do the Zooms in the beginning, because I couldn't,
Yeah.
because I had my operation. So I think I never really got into the routine of doing them. So I haven't really been very consistent at doing them. You know, so that is something I need to work on.
But you you know what's going to happen
So
next.
it's progress, it's not perfection, and I should be saying that.
After Shelley's seen this, she's going to be
I
looking out
know,
for
I know, I
you.
know.
So would you say that since then, do you walk more or run more or now? I mean, because I know what it's like to lose over 3 stone in weight and how that the difference that can make on your ability and your
Yeah, well, no, definitely, because I know. Well, I did the running challenge with the girls. We had a fundraising collective group with Feel Loop with girls in October.
that's right.
So I'm quite good if I do things. If I agree to do something and I'll do it, and I do it, so it makes me do it as well. So I actually really enjoyed doing that. So we all ran, what was it, 5K a day every day in October, and all
That's
raised
right.
money for breast cancer, which was brilliant.
And
And
it was say it was £9,000 is what we
it
raised.
was amazing.
It
It
was
was amazing. Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
So I think so that was great to partake in that and be part of that, and like I say, it was consistent, so it makes you do it, and you see everybody else doing it, so you think, well, I better do my 5K a day, whatever. So, but what I was away to say was, yes, I definitely do feel I can run for, you know, I feel fitter now when I run.
Yeah.
Because before I'd be a bit more like, you know, I couldn't run so far or feel so fit, so I could. I can probably run further sometimes than I think I can as well now, you know, because before I couldn't, or it was harder. So it's definitely in my physical ability, I know I'm fitter because I can do all
Yeah.
these things easier.
But plus you're also older, so that's
Yeah,
amazing, isn't
yeah,
it? You
I
know, we're
know,
maybe getting older, but we're
I
getting
know,
better,
I
you know?
know. I know
Um,
it's just, I know it's quite, when you think about it like that, you never really thought about it like that, Lesley.
yeah,
Try to forget you're getting
that's
older.
that's how my head works because
Yeah,
I've never been healthier or fitter in my whole
I
adult
know.
life as far as I can think.
Well,
Whereas
I think
compared
that's
to who I am now,
what I was saying before is how it can't, and I can understand because that's what was happening to my head.
yeah,
Was there's almost a part of you just thinks, well, it's just my age.
that's right.
When you're this age, you just happen to get overweight. You get a middle-aged spread, and you can't walk so far, and you can't do something. You just it's like you're giving up or
That's
giving
right.
in, and it doesn't have to be that way. And that for me is a massive revelation.
And when you think you've got the same amount of years still to live, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
or thereabouts, but it's
Of
like you want the best, don't you?
course you do. And I think as you get well, at any age, but especially as you age and get older, um, it's so important to try and look after your body and so that you can go into an older age and be fitter and be well and be there for the people around about you. And
Definitely.
you know, like I say, I've got my 3 grandchildren and my children. I've got my elderly mother and my dad, and you know, I want to be able to be fit and able to be with these people and enjoy the time. You know,
Definitely, Julie.
yeah.
Julie, is there anything else you would like to add to our wee chat today?
Um, I'd just like to say that, well, thank you obviously to Shelley and you obviously and all the girls in the group and everybody, all your support team and everything. But it's, I think that for me, I think basically I've obviously lost the weight. I feel it's changed my whole awareness of myself. It has changed my life a lot in the way because I feel that my mindset's changed and it's continually changing. But I see that as a really positive thing because I believe that in life we have to keep changing and evolving, and to be what we're here to do and be, we've got to grow. And if we don't, we stagnate. And I think maybe for a while I was just stuck. So this has helped me move along a bit. And I think when you've physically changed, you realize you can do that.
Yes.
I've done that. So that in a way gives you confidence. And I don't mean that in a way like, oh, I've lost weight. And I don't mean like that at all, because I'm not that
That's
sort of
all.
person. But it gives you an inner sense of a confidence that it kind of empowers you. And you think, okay, I've done that. And it's like, it's like a challenge almost, but it's not a challenge. You've accomplished something.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I can now, it makes me think I can do other things and I can keep doing that. And it's like, keep growing this mind to do other things. And again, it's coming out of your comfort zone as well.
Definitely.
So for
Definitely.
me to do this with you today is coming out of my comfort zone for me because
Well,
really I am quite a personal person and I'm not kind of like out there vocally and I do like to protect myself, which I think that's reasonable. But at the same breath, I think if I can help other people, why not tell other people my experience and how I feel and what my story is?
Julie, it's so heartfelt because I know what it's been like for you to sit here in front of this camera and to tell everybody about yourself. And I'm truly grateful for that. And when we had a wee chat before we pressed record, I know it's very nervous and very nerve-wracking. However, it's a huge, huge thing. And I take that on board every single time I sit here and I have this wonderful opportunity to chat to Shelley's clients. I'm very honoured to have that opportunity. I absolutely am. And I can only but thank you again for doing this for us today. I know that there's other women similar to yourself, stuck in that same place, perhaps going through health problems as well. And if it helps at least one, then
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
we can ask for. Before we go, Julie, I
Right.
always ask for 5 words from our clients that best describe Shelley and her Feel Look Be programme. Do you have 5 words for me today?
Yes, I do. So I was thinking about this last night. So the first one, it's unique, because it is a totally unique programme. In fact, it's unique because it brings all these things that we've spoken about today together, you know, and one all connects to the other, and without one, you can't really have the other.
Yeah.
The next one, it's holistic, because it is holistic. It's about the whole person, everything about the person, mind, body, spirit, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then it's obviously transforming, which it transforms people visually, but also internally, and obviously inspiring, because like you see all these lovely people like yourself and other people in the group, and there's people on the group that you just think, wow, a lot the stories that they tell.
I know.
You know, it's quite humbling sometimes. You know, some people that you just think, wow, what have I got to worry about? You know.
Yeah.
And so all these things give you more motivation and strength as well, because you think, oh, if that woman could do that, well, I can definitely. You know what I mean? And it's like I said earlier, it's authentic, because like Shelley is, it's all real, genuine, and it gives that authenticity, and that's what I love about it as well.
And Julie, you are exactly the same. It's an absolute pleasure to have you in my life, and I'm so glad that Shelley and Feel Look Be has brought us all back together
Oh,
again.
I'm so delighted.
And yeah, it's just fantastic. Julie, I really wish you, Logan, and the rest of the family so much love, and I'm wishing you a very Merry Christmas as well. I'll hopefully get a chance to bump in to again very soon. And once again, thank you. Thank you,
Lesley. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.